Let's talk Women Talk.
Sherry Soon was diagnosed with vasculitis when she was 20 and has struggled with the disease for most of her life. With the goal of empowering individuals that are living with an autoimmune disease, she created an online support group for people to share their stories and hopes to let others know that they are not alone. I sat down with her one afternoon to hear more about how she has learned to live with vasculitis over the years. Can you tell me what is an autoimmune disease and how you've managed to live through it all these years?
I have vasculitis, which is a form of autoimmune diseases. And autoimmune diseases are diseases that your own autoimmune system is overactive and it attacks itself instead of protecting itself. So there are more than 100 different kinds of autoimmune diseases. So for my vasculitis, it's actually inflammation of the blood vessels. Again, there are many different forms of vasculitis. So mine is a particular type called livedoid vasculitis, where it attacks small blood vessels in my legs. Because of that, I cannot walk or stand for prolonged periods of time.
Now, obviously, this has changed your life. Now, has it changed drastically?
I think a lot of people, they cannot tell that you have an autoimmune disease from the way that you look. Some people think that, when you say I'm sick, you will get well soon again, or maybe it takes a few months, but you will be well. But they don't understand that autoimmune diseases are for life. It could be your disease, or it could be your medications that lead to the side effects. Being on steroids for 18 years, so that has led to also a loss of calcium and early osteoporosis. The very first side effect that you will see is the moon face. So a lot of people struggle with that because it really hits your self-esteem a lot. That is the reality of our whole lives.
So what gave you the courage and motivation to write into Women Talk and want to share your story?
I wanted to reach out to people to tell people that it is okay to share your story, that there is no stigma, I feel, to exposing your vulnerability.
So you're trying to influence change in the chronic disease management program. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing and what you hope to achieve?
The CDMP, or Chronic Disease Management Program, is actually a scheme to allow people to use their MediSave to pay for their outpatient specialist bills. And the scheme will actually help us to reduce our out-of-pocket expenses. So what I've done last year was that I've approached MP Louise Ng's legislative team to propose this change to the CDMP. In March 2018, MP Louise Ng brought this question up in Parliament, whether we could include more autoimmune diseases into the CDMP. So I really hope that by 2019, we'll be able to come up with a proposal to include some of the autoimmune conditions under the CDMP. And I actually see this as a lifelong work.
It's quite apparent that you push yourself to do other things as well, and you don't limit yourself, and you have a group where you find volunteers and you do activities together. So can you tell me a little bit about this group?
I was encouraged by my husband to start a volunteering group. So I started this group called Be Kind SG. So I try to curate and organize activities that people need not, be committed to for 3 months or 6 months, but they can come and join and see what they can do.
You speak a lot about moving beyond your comfort zone. So what made you move beyond your comfort zone?
Okay, I truly believe that we only have one life and that we should live it as meaningfully and purposefully as possible. This is why I tattooed this. So it's live life with love. I think a lot of people live in silos, and we should just reach out to people who we think are different from us to understand their stories. You never know the support that you get back from them.
So Sherry, what is empowerment to you?
Empowerment to me is to go beyond your comfort zone and to use your time and talents and skills to make a positive impact in someone else's life and to contribute to be an inclusive society.
Thank you so much, because just listening to you describe the pain that you've gone through and what you're doing now to empower the community, for me that's very powerful. So thank you so much for the work that you do. Thank you. Even though such conditions are often invisible to our eyes, the struggles that people with autoimmune diseases face are very real. Sherry's courage to step out of her comfort zone and also to empower others in the community is truly admirable, and we can all stand to learn from a spirit of doing good for those around us.